Some extinctions shock the world, becoming cautionary tales we tell for generations. They are the titans we lost, their absence a scar on our collective memory. But most extinctions happen quietly, without news, without protests, without memories. They are the whispers of life fading into an eternal silence. No photos to prove they were here, no documentaries to tell their story. No one left asking the important questions. Today, we're not talking about the famous extinct animals you already know. We are turning our attention to the ghosts of the natural world. We're talking about the truly forgotten species, life forms that disappeared completely while humanity was busy looking elsewhere, their final moments unrecorded. And once you hear their stories, pieced together from fragments of evidence, you'll realize how easily life can vanish. Unnoticed. Remember the ones without headlines. Their silence is our lesson. 1. The Zanzibar leopard. A unique subspecies, it lived exclusively on Unguja, a small island off the coast of East Africa. It was a shy and elusive predator, so rare it was almost never seen, but its phantom presence was deeply felt. Local legends called it evil, a malevolent spirit. People believed it was a creature of witchcraft, sent to cause harm. That belief was enough to seal its fate. Villagers hunted it relentlessly, not for food, not for survival, but for fear. By the 1990s, after decades of persecution, the Zanzibar leopard was declared extinct. There was no conservation effort to save it, no global outrage, just a profound, echoing silence. And to this day, some locals still claim it survives in secret forests. But science says otherwise. Fear erased an entire species. Some reports surfaced in 2018, fleeting, unconfirmed. Camera traps caught stripes and shadows, never proof. Biologists searched Jozani's thickets, only tracks remained. If it survives, it hides better than we seek. If it is gone, fear turned rumor into extinction. Small predators vanish quietly when myths grow loud. Protect Zanzibar's forests. Listen, learn, and act with care. Because legends can't restore what fear erased. One, the Cape Verde giant skink. This unique reptile lived only on a few tiny windswept islands off the coast of Africa. It moved slowly, a gentle giant adapted to a life with no natural predators. Because it had no fear, it trusted humans. That misplaced trust would ultimately seal its fate. Passing sailors captured it for food, while others took the docile creature as a pet. At the same time, invasive rats brought by the ships destroyed its eggs. By the early 1900s, it vanished completely. No videos exist, no recordings. All that remains are bones in museums and a few faded scientific illustrations. An entire species reduced to labels behind glass. Its story is a quiet warning, a reminder of how fragile island life can be and of what silence can erase. The Atitlan grebe, a unique bird that lived in one single beautiful lake in Guatemala. Nowhere else on Earth. It was flightless. In its isolated paradise, it didn't need to fly. Until humans introduced a foreign fish, the largemouth bass, into the lake. These predators ate the grebe's chicks and destroyed its food source. By 1989, the Atitlan grebe was declared extinct. One lake, one decision, one extinction. The silence it left behind was profound, a stark lesson in ecological fragility. The lake's entire food web was disrupted, a cascade effect from a single introduction. Its story is a solemn reminder of the irreversible damage caused by invasive species, but it also fuels our resolve to protect the unique endemic life that still remains. Many lakes, better choices. On the remote Juan Fernandez Islands, a unique species once thrived, the Chilean sandalwood tree. This tree produced an aromatic oil so valuable, so sought after for its unique fragrance, that it was called green gold. Driven by insatiable demand, humans cut it down far faster than it could ever grow. There was no replanting, no protection. By the time anyone noticed the silence on the hillsides, there were none left. An entire tree species erased by demand. Luxury has consequences, but its story is not just an ending. It is a warning and a choice. We can protect what remains. We can work to restore what we can. We must learn to value life over luxury, because once something is gone, it's gone forever. 1. The Chinese paddlefish. For 200 million years, this majestic giant swam the waters of the Yangtze River. A living fossil, it survived the dinosaurs, endured ice ages, and witnessed the impact that changed the world. But it couldn't survive us. Massive dams became insurmountable concrete walls, fragmenting the river and severing the ancient migratory paths the paddlefish needed to spawn. Relentless overfishing decimated its numbers. By the time regulations were finally put in place, it was already too late. The nets were coming up empty. After years of fruitless searching, scientists made the heartbreaking confirmation in 2020. The Chinese paddlefish was extinct, a creature older than humanity, ended by modern engineering. Its loss is a somber lesson for its surviving relatives, the sturgeons and paddlefish of other rivers. We must protect their migratory routes before they too become just a memory. 1. Hawaiian land snails. In the lush forests of Hawaii, a silent tragedy has unfolded. More than 400 species of these tiny jewels of the undergrowth have gone extinct. Living quiet lives on leaves and bark, most people don't even know they existed. They were systematically wiped out by invasive predators and human neglect. But they weren't just beautiful, they were essential. Each one played a vital role in forest health, recycling nutrients and keeping fungi in check. Their extinction didn't just remove species, it weakened the entire ecosystem. Today, conservationists are fighting for the survivors through captive breeding programs and habitat protection. We honor the small lives lost by fiercely protecting those that remain. Their impact was and is immense. 1. The lost wheat of Mesopotamia. For millennia, ancient civilizations cultivated a rich tapestry of wheat varieties, many of which no longer exist. These were hardy, resilient crops that survived punishing droughts, devastating floods, and seasons of extreme heat. But modern agriculture replaced this genetic diversity with fragile uniformity. Now those resilient crops are gone, and as climate change grows stronger, we realize what we lost. Perhaps too late. But some seeds endure, hidden away in vaults and forgotten fields. In labs and research plots, scientists are reviving these ancient strains, testing their strength for tomorrow's challenges. Farmers are beginning to trial diversity again, planting more varieties for more roots and more resilience. What was nearly lost can still guide us. The past holds the key to a more secure future, if we choose to protect diversity, starting now. Why these extinctions matter? Not all extinctions are dramatic. Some happen quietly, while we're distracted. Every lost species takes knowledge with it. Medicine, food, balance. Extinction isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers. Habitats unravel, webs thin. The intricate connections that sustain life begin to fray, often unnoticed until the damage is widespread. We notice, too late. But there is still hope. Protection works, seeds saved, corridors reconnected, species return. The whisper of extinction can be answered by the quiet work of restoration, when we listen and act. These species didn't disappear because they were weak or because they failed to adapt to a changing world on their own. They disappeared because no one was paying attention. Lost in the noise of our own world, their quiet fading went unnoticed. Their stories are now etched only in museum glass and dusty records. Remembering them is the least we can do. It's a small act of defiance against the finality of their absence. If you believe forgotten life deserves a voice, and that their memory should echo into the future, subscribe to this channel. Join us in this vigil, because extinction doesn't need permission. It doesn't wait for a vote or a consensus. It only needs silence. Our silence. Let's not give it that.